The last of them. The first time they saw the creature, it was through the shattered dome of a ruined city on the Los 9. The survey team had assumed the world was dead. The war between the Rizek and the Vari had scorched its surface to ash. Whole cities reduced to black glass. Air unbreathable. No signs of life. But then came the movement, just a flicker caught on thermal. Private Danna Reese adjusted her visor. "Commander, we got something." "Hostile." "No," she said. "I don't think it's moving right." The team followed the signal through a labyrinth of wreckage until they found it. A hunched, skeletal figure, its thick hide cracked and burned, patches of armor fused to its flesh. 4 arms. 6 eyes, only 2 still glowing. Its breathing was ragged, rasping through torn vents in its throat. It looked up at them and didn't move. "Species ID?" Commander Ortiz asked. Reese checked the scanner. "Unknown, but definitely sentient. Possibly Vari-class bioform. Then it's a war asset. Or was. Doesn't look dangerous," she muttered. "It looks left behind." The humans debated. Protocol said recover only tech. Biologicals were to be reported, not rescued, especially ones tied to former enemies. But Reese couldn't walk away. Not after what they saw in the creature's eyes. Pain, yes, but more than that, recognition. So they broke protocol. They brought it aboard. They called it Vox. Medical scans showed internal trauma, organ damage, radiation burns. But it was stable. It didn't speak. Not at first. But it watched. Always watched. Reese took the lead. She stayed with it during scans. Fed it by hand when it refused, sent gel. Talked to it, even when it didn't respond. 2 weeks in, it mimicked her voice. Danna, the first word it spoke. Her name. Bit by bit, Vox learned. It spoke slowly, awkwardly, like its mouth had forgotten how to shape words. Its language was complex, layered tones and vibrations. But it tried to copy theirs. "We are broken," it said one day, pointing to itself. "We were erased." "What happened to your people?" Reese asked. It lowered its head. "Gone. Not buried. Just forgotten." Records on the Vari were scarce. They were rumored to be bioengineers, symbiotic beings that had once formed alliances with dozens of species. But during the War of 3 Suns, they vanished. No one knew if they were wiped out or fled. Vox was the only survivor anyone had ever seen, the last of his kind. Some on the ship called a mistake, a relic, a weapon waiting to turn. But Vox didn't retaliate when an officer insulted him, didn't fight when they poked and prodded his scarred body in science labs. He just sat in silence. Until the storm hit. The freighter Orin's wake had taken in the research team for return to Earth, a routine trip, until they passed the gravity well of a rogue gas giant. The ship shuddered, lights flickered, shields failed, hull breach, engine failure, life support dropping, panic, until Vox stepped forward. He moved faster than anyone thought possible. Climbed into the radiation-seared engine crawl space and reconnected systems by hand. Flesh melting, skin blistering. But he did it. He saved them. The med team tried to sedate him afterward, to treat his burns. He refused. "I was built to die," he said. But this was life. Word spread. Quickly. A Federation tribunal was called. Why was this creature recovered? One admiral barked during testimony. Commander Ortiz stood. "Because he saved my crew." The admiral turned to Reese. "And why did you bring him aboard in the first place?" Reese glanced at Vox, seated beside her, silent but watchful. "Because he was the only living thing on a dead world," she said. "And everyone else left him to die. Earth wasn't ready. They offered Vox sanctuary. Not citizenship, not recognition, Just a quiet room in an outpost on Ganymede, where he could stay unnoticed. But Vox didn't want to hide. I want to help, he told him. I know machines. I know pain. Let me heal. It began with small repairs. Damaged drones. Crippled med units. Vox fixed them faster than most engineers. Soon, hospitals requested him. Then refugee colonies. Children followed him like he was some strange, gentle guardian. Some still hated him. Avari? Helping humans? But he never responded to hatred with anything but silence. He had already been forgotten once. He wouldn't let that happen again. The broadcast. It happened during a deep space salvage mission. Reese, now a civilian tech specialist, was aboard when an old Vari ship was discovered in the void, adrift, untouched for decades. When Vox saw it, he fell to his knees. "Kin," he whispered. They brought him aboard. He moved like someone returning to a childhood home, touched the walls, whispered to the ship, and then something awakened. A transmission, a final message from the Vari elders, encoded in bioresonance Vox alone could understand. Survive, remember, share. Vox turned to Reese. My people wanted peace. We died giving it. Let me live giving more. He asked for access to the galactic net. For the first time in recorded history, an alien, one left to die, once discarded, spoke directly to the stars. I am Vox, he said, last of the Vari. They call me Beast. Weapon. Refuse. But one species gave me a name. Gave me hope. He paused. To those who feel forgotten, I remember you. You are not alone. Legacy. Years passed. Vox became a symbol, not of power, but of care. He worked in hospitals, built homes for survivors of war, reprogrammed weapons into food synthesizers. He taught children. He mourned with soldiers. He never took a title, never asked for praise. But the Federation declared him something rare, a galactic guardian of life. Only one other being ever earned that name. The last image of Vox was taken on a colony moon racked by solar fire. He stayed behind to hold the failing generator online while the last evac ship left. No one saw him die, but no one believed he had, because heroes like him don't disappear. They become legend. Epilogue, the name. A statue now stands in Earth's Unity Hall. Not tall, not proud, just a figure kneeling beside a broken child's toy, quietly repairing it. The plaque reads,